So evening lovelies, and just beginning wherever you prefer on your mat this evening, seated, lying down, whatever your body needs. And just check through. You might find you normally start one way and you just need to really perhaps lie down and just relax and let the mat and the floor support you from whatever you've been up to today. And just taking a moment to root. Send your energetic roots down. If you can imagine this through the feet, like tree roots from a really large old oak tree. And as we just take these first few minutes to relax, just casually scan through your body. Not necessarily lingering on any area, but just observing where something might feel a little bit tighter than normal, where you're holding tension, maybe in the face or around certain joints, whether there's any muscle soreness or any kind of little twinges in nerves, and just being aware through your practice, perhaps needing to just sort of shift or alter something. But that's the beauty of yin and the quietness that we have, is to allow ourselves to really go inward and observe quite often what we would ignore. Our busy lives allow us to ignore and sort of overlook perhaps what the body is trying to show us, teach us. And often little ailments start off and it's like the body just whispering to us that something might be out of balance. And the more we ignore it, perhaps the symptoms will shift. And in the end, our body has to start screaming with bigger symptoms and more intense sensations. So when we're in our yin poses and there's that quietness, we can listen to the whispers and work with our body. Notice also during your postures, not just how you feel physically, but how certain poses, certain ways we move our body allow emotions to come through and memories to just sort of jump into our mind. So just gently, we're going to come to seated. If you're lying down, just enjoy a few moments to draw the knees in. Have a little rock and come up in your own time. There's no rush. It's nice to feel all the movements as we come from lying to seated. So we're going to work this evening with some poses that work with our hips. Not too intense, but you will, it will enjoy the stretch. But to begin with, we'll come into about 5 minutes of meditation. And this evening, I think we'll just sit mindfully with no counting, no chant, no mantras, nothing. So just join me in the most comfortable seated position you can come into. And we'll rest the hands to Dhyana Mudra. And with 5 minutes, we're just going to sit, follow the breath. And the breath is the thing that we can come back to when our mind really starts to go off onto tangents. And sometimes when we do sit without anything that we're doing in our mind, the mind will float off even more. So as we stay here, let's just close the eyes and relax all the facial muscles and loosen through shoulders and upper back. And then when you feel like you're comfortable, just follow your breath. In these few first moments, we can still look for some tension. And just staying with our breath. Noticing how long you can stay very conscious of breathing without the mind wandering off. Just drawing your mind back to the breath. Still relaxed. Noticing the quality of your breath. And just gently, let's take one more breath. And we'll blink our eyes open. Notice when you take that last breath at the end of a meditation, whether I find it's a sort of a bigger breath than the rest of them as I breathe, like a finale breath. Anyway, coming off cushions, we're going to start with swan. So our first pose this evening will be swan. Pigeon, also known as this pose. So let's start with drawing the right knee forwards. Left leg extends behind, and I always like to have a little cushion to rest the right buttock on. It stops that sort of tendency to roll onto the right side of the body. And I always choose to start in this kind of upright swan and then gradually maybe come onto elbows. It's nice to feel the different shape that you get through the spine and the back. So just sort of settling here first and trying to release through the right buttock and thigh. Noticing if your left leg is tense in any way. Perhaps feeling a little bit through the arms and the wrists, and then when you're ready, you can just gently come onto elbows if that's nice. If you have a block, you can rest the head. Take some of the tension out of the neck. And then just really trying to stay present in this pose, really feeling perhaps the achiness of the stretch initially. And if you want to come all the way down and stretch the arms out with the head on the mat, then you can. And just changing, shifting in your pose at any time to suit how you feel and what your body needs. So how do you feel? Is it a challenging pose this evening, or is it actually really quite welcome? And there's a curiosity about what you're feeling. As you breathe, trying to relax the abdomen and all the muscles in the front of your body which can tense. And trying to relax the head and neck and shoulders. So with 3 breaths left, just take this opportunity to really explore what else you can let go of. Then gently We can lift our head slowly and come out. Just in noticing everything that you're feeling. Keep your block and your cushion handy. We'll use them again the other side. But just lying down, as you stretch out that right leg, just noticing again how that feels to free the leg now. Lovely sigh. It's a really nice posture for the meridians that run through our legs, which is the liver, the kidneys, the spleen, and that really also works the stomach channel. Perhaps feeling a little bit tingly on top of the leg and foot. Maybe some coolness on the inner thighs. Does the body feel good after that pose? So when you're ready, let's draw our legs in, have a nice little rock. Perhaps you can still feel a difference between the right foot sensation and the left. So being curious as to how it's going to feel when we come into the other side. Let's roll up. And then gradually coming into the left side. Left knee bends, the foot just sort of rests in front of that right thigh. Again, use as many props as you want to support your body. The more you can relax and not have to hold the tension in our muscles. So a few deep breaths here. Trying to relax the back, the buttocks. Checking in with how it feels to breathe if the belly feels tight. And just really coming into your body, having awareness on how you feel in this very moment. The sensations of the hands and the wrists. And then whenever you're ready, if you want to, you don't have to, really, this is your pose. Just come into whatever position feels right. And again, relax the abdomen. And soften through your face. Notice if the digestive system makes any noise. We're really stimulating our stomach meridian here. If you feel like coming lower into the pose, if the body allows this, then please just let your body move wherever you want to. And just following your breath. Can you soften a little bit more into this pose? And if you do move further down, Just again relaxing through. How does this pose make you feel? Working with root, sacral. Very much working with our hips. Emotion, trauma, upset can be very long held in the hip area, stored in cellular memory. And how does this side feel compared with the right side? Is it easier? So with just a few more breaths in this pose, let's just really relax. Just look for anything else that we can just soften. And then gently, when you're ready, nice and slowly lifting up. And really enjoying that release. Sometimes coming out of the pose is just as nice as being in the pose. And then when we lie down, what do we feel? Sometimes certain poses will give us a little bit of a surge of chi shift. And you can really feel some temperature changes through your body. So relaxing the back and spine, and perhaps let the neck lengthen. You may feel that coldness in the thighs, around the lower abdomen, and just see if you can follow any sensation as it perhaps subtly fades, but through the body, where the meridians rise up from the legs and through the body.